Salute. Hey man, how's everybody doing? This is OJ's MMA here, aka Alex. I hope you all are doing well. Like I always say in today's video, we're going to be talking about UFC Paris, aka UFC Fight Night Sidolgan versus Sergey Spivak. This card is not too good, to be honest with you. There's some decent fights on the card. Not too much name value at all. We have the return of Rose Namajunas. She's going to be taking on Manon Fiore. And yeah, you guys know the deal. I'm just going to be breaking down my picks. I'm quickly going to run down the prelims, give you guys my thoughts on the prelims, who I'm going to predict, and then we'll move on to the main card. But yeah, this is primarily just going to be about the main card. Alright boys, so to kick off the main card, we're going to have two guys who are going to be making their UFC debuts. Morgan, the last Pirate Charrier, taking on Manolo Angelo Veneziano Zacchini. Some very unique names to say the least. I'm definitely going to go with Morgan Charrier here, guys. There's no specific reason why I'm picking Morgan, but I definitely trust him to get the job done. You know, he has a lot more experience. He's 18-9, which is still a pretty decent record. You know, there's a fair few losses, but he's been around for a long time now. He's been fighting for I don't know how many years, probably like almost 10 years now. And he's been putting in the work, to say the least, you know. I think he's 6-3 at Cage Warriors, and he's a finisher, you know what I mean? This guy only goes out to get finishes strictly. When he does fight, most of the time he loses by decision. So I don't see him getting finished in this matchup. I don't really rate Manolo Zacchini that much, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think if anything's going to happen in this fight, I can see Zacchini grappling in the first round, probably holding Charrier up against the cage, winning the first round, and then the next two rounds, I can just see Morgan Charrier beating the dog shit out of him. And if Manolo Zacchini doesn't get finished, I just think Morgan Charrier will have a very good last two rounds in the fight, and I think he'll win very comfortably. But I can also see a submission from Morgan Charrier. I don't know why, I'm just picturing it. But my final pick, lads, is very obvious. I didn't do too much research for this card. I'm going with Morgan Charrier by third round submission or a unanimous decision. Next fight on the card, boys, we are taking it back to the featherweight division. William Jaguar Gomes taking on Yanis the Desert Warrior Gomari, if that's how you say his last name. I'm definitely going to side with William Gomez here, guys. I do think that Yanis is pretty underrated. I do think he's got a pretty good skill set, but I'm going to go off experience and trust William Gomez to be able to get the job done in Paris. He fought on last year's Paris card, and I just think overall he's the better fighter, you know what I mean? He kind of looked pretty shitty against Francis Marshall. But Francis Marshall was undefeated, obviously not anymore, but there's just nothing too much about Giannis that impresses me with him. You know, it's the same thing with William Gomez. So there's not much to go off here, boys, you know what I mean? I'm just going to have to pick William Gomez. I'm going to trust him to get the job done. I'm going to go with him by decision. But if you're looking to throw a cheeky bet, I wouldn't mind putting some dosh on Giannis, because I think he might shock the world. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm going to go with William Gomez by decision. There's no explanation towards my picks. I just say who I think is going to win, alright, boys? Appreciate y'all. In the lightweight division, we have Benoit Saint-Denis taking on Thiago Moises. I'm definitely going to go with Benoit Saint-Denis here, guys. I think both of these dudes at lightweight are super underrated. I feel like these are two guys who definitely fly under the radar, who are both extremely good just outside the rankings. I'm definitely going to have to go with Benoit Saint-Denis, man. You know what I mean? I feel like he's on this rise in his career. Benoit Saint-Denis is really tough. He's 11-1. He's never been finished in his career, which means something. He is super tough, super durable. So I do not see Thiago Moises getting a finish here. I see this fight being a grappling match, to be honest with you. And even if it's a striking match, I would probably lean towards Benoit Saint-Denis, you know what I mean? I feel like out of both these guys, who's tougher, I'm definitely going to have to go with Benoit Saint-Denis. You know, Thiago Moises has been finished by submission. He got finished by Yoel Alvarez. I just think, you know, Benoit Saint-Denis is at this point in his career where he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna literally turn up the gas and just go for it, you know what I mean? Like I always say, boys, I don't have any explanation towards my picks, but I can see Benoit Saint-Denis just having a really good matchup, having a really good fight against Thiago Moises. I feel like Moises won't be used to fighting in France either. So I'm excited for this matchup. I think this will be a striking match, and I'm gonna pick Benoit Saint-Denis to win. Alright guys, we have finally made it to the co-main event. Manon Fiore taking on Rose Namajunas. Man, I'm going to have to go with Manon Fiore here. You know, I feel like over her last 5 fights. She's looked really impressive. She's finished all of her fights, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, she hasn't been able to finish Mayra Bueno Silva, but she still has really good wins coming into this matchup. She's undefeated in the UFC. Obviously, Rose Namajunas coming off that terrible performance against Carla Esparza, one of the worst fights of all time. And I'm just not confident, you know. I'm just not confident to pick her to win this fight because I don't know where her head is. I just don't know where her head is at, you know what I mean? I just don't know where she's at mentally. Obviously, Pat Barry is her coach, which has something to do with it, to be honest with you. But all I want to say is I just don't know where Rose Namajunas' head is at. You know, this is going to be her flyweight debut as well. She's a natural strawweight, so I think Manon Fiore might be way too big for her. Obviously, Rose Namajunas is obviously she's been putting in work. You know, she looks a lot bigger. She looks like she's taking the time to make the move to 125, but I'm going to trust Manon Fiore to get the job done. She's got really good wins coming into this fight. I just cannot pick Rose Namajunas off that fight against Carla Esparza. I thought it was shocking. Rose Namajunas recently also got choked out by Julian Robinson, who's not even a ranked fighter in any women's division, I'm pretty sure. So that's not good to hear. So I'm definitely going to go with Manon Fiore by a second round TKO or a unanimous decision. But I will not be surprised if Rose Namajunas once again shocks the world like she always does. Finally, we have made it to the main event. Cyril Gane will be taking on Sergey Spivak in the main event of UFC Paris. And I'm going to have to go with Cyril Gane here, guys. It's very obvious. I want to say this right now. Sergey Spivak is not that fucking good, alright? This guy has really superior judo skills. He's got really decent wrestling. He can control you on the ground really well if he gets it to the ground. But I do not see him taking down Cyril Gane. I see him trying to take Cyril Gane down multiple times, but I don't think Cyril Gane will be taken down in this matchup. I feel like Gane's takedown defense will be able to hold up. And Sergey Spivak is absolutely dog shit on the feet. This guy throws only boxing combinations strictly. I barely see Sergey Spivak throw leg kicks, knees, elbows, anything like that. So that is a nightmare matchup, especially against Cyril Gane, someone who is an amazing striker, a high-level caliber striker like him, who's going to be throwing head kicks up the middle, teeps to the body, just little low tap leg kicks like he likes to do. And I can predict a second round TKO from Cyril Gane. I think he's going to toy with Sergey Spivak in the first round. And then I think he's just going to knock out fucking Sergey Spivak with a head kick. I think it's going to be a brutal TKO. I think it's going to be similar to Taito Ivasa. And I think it's going to be done quicker. The only way Sergey Spivak wins this fight, boys, is if he gets it down to the mat. And it's not happening. Cyril Gane has great takedown defense in my opinion. And I think even if it went to the ground, I think he'd be able to do pretty well against Sergey Spivak. But if it stays on the feet, we're seeing a fucking absolute Giga Chat masterclass performance by Cyril Gane. Sergey Spivak is going to be in for a rude awakening, guys. I feel really bad for him. I don't know why he's fighting Cyril Gane. That's probably the worst type of matchup for him. Basically, it's a 50-50 fight like Sean O'Malley and Aljamain Sterling. If Cyril Gane keeps it on the feet, he will destroy Sergey Spivak within 2 rounds, in my opinion. If Sergey Spivak can get it to the ground, we are in for a fucking interesting fight, boys. But you already know what I'm going to be doing. Cyril Gane by second round TKO or a absolute dominant decision, 50-45s all across the scoreboard. It's Cyril Gane season, lads.